समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
A wake-up call for the Congress party after its defeat in Bihar today came from one of its own leaders, Mumtaz Patel, the daughter of Ahmed Patel, at one point when he was alive, the Congress's most powerful and influential leader after the Gandhi family. Mumtaz Patel has called for the Congress to abandon excuses, abandon the blame game, and to look within. She's also warning that the party continues to behave as if India and politics is the same. But she has asserted that the country has changed, but the Congress hasn't. In a moment from now, we'll be talking to Mumtaz Patel, even as the Prime Minister predicts that the Congress party may even split. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo story. The debacle in Bihar has sent shockwaves through the opposition. But if the RJD and Tejashwi Yadav have reason to be depressed, so does the Congress party. And yet the party seems immersed in election denialism, not even confronting its defeat. There are now leaders that are calling for serious introspection. Shashi Tharoor is one such leader. But today, a warning for the health of the Congress party came from Mumtaz Patel. She's a Congress leader who is also the daughter of Ahmed Patel. Ahmed Patel, of course, as we all know, when he was alive, was the Congress's most powerful, most influential political leader, a key aide to Sonia Gandhi. And today, it is his daughter who is warning the party. India has changed, politics has changed, but somehow the only entity that doesn't seem to change is the Congress party. Confronted with a series of defeats after the Lok Sabha elections of 2024 and a near debacle in Bihar where it tried to punch well above its weight. Let me welcome to the program now Mumtaz Patel, our newsmaker today. As I said, she's a Congress leader and also the daughter of a Congress veteran. Good to see you, Mumtaz, and thank you for your time. You've been very blunt, both in your posts on Facebook, on X, and you have been saying that the Congress has to understand देश बदल रहा है, देश बदल चुका है, लेकिन Congress party नहीं बदली. You've also said बहाने बंद करो, stop the blame. Stop the blame game, stop the excuses, look within. What made you, in a way, speak out so bluntly when so many other Congress leaders are in denial?
You know, I repeat that this tweet came out of pure emotion that day as I watched the results unfold on the screen. And the only thought that I had were the countless karyakartas across the country, which is our base, which is our backbone, who have been with the Congress party for years, living in that hope to see that victory, to see the glory of the party again. And also so many who've never seen a victory in their life. Like take the case of Gujarat. It's been 30 years now. And I've interacted with these karyakartas. They look at all of us here in Delhi as hope. I mean, to someone like me, because I'm AP's daughter, they feel that you can be the bridge between us and the center. But the thing is that even I have nobody who listen. So it just makes me feel their plight, because what are they working so hard for? And like I always say, the leadership owes accountability to these workers, and which is why my tweet was pure emotions for the love towards the Congress party, for my support towards the Congress party, for the Congress party that I consider my family.
You say that even I have nobody who listens. If Ahmed Patel's daughter can't get somebody in the Congress party to listen, what hope does an ordinary party worker have?
Okay, let me put it that way. I would have people who listen, but then there is no action. That is what I have understood in the last few years, that, okay, you might get a hearing, but then nothing, there's no result, which is why I even wrote, I think people did not notice that I wrote no introspection, because after each election, everybody goes into that introspection mode. But what happens after the introspection? So I think something there is that we are doing wrong. We know there's a lot wrong with the current dispensation. We know that the country is going through tough times. But the thing is, if the public cannot see it and they are happy with status quo, then we need to change our strategy. There's something that we are doing wrong somewhere, that we're not being able to still, despite all of this, despite people having issues of inflation, people having issues of employment, despite despite the communal tensions, despite the divide in society, there's so much. I would agree with my leader Rahul Gandhi that there is vote chori, there is capture of institutions, all that is there. But yet, why is it that the people year after year still believe in a Modi, still believe in the BJP, still want to vote for them? There is something wrong somewhere from our end in terms of strategy, in terms of management.
One of the things that you have been saying is that there is a disconnect between those who wield power in the high command of the party, the central leadership of the party, and actually the sentiment of the ground. And I think you precisely said that those who wield power in Delhi are disconnected from the ground reality. Talk a little bit about this. It must be very frustrating for a young politician like yourself to constantly see power centralized, also in the hands of, very, very few people, and then those people, the Delhi leadership, as you call it, being out of touch with ground reality.
Look, we've seen power centralized before also. It's not that there has not been a coterie system in the Congress party. We've heard about the Indira Gandhi coterie, and we've heard about the Rajiv Gandhi coterie, and we've also seen it during Sonia ji's time, and then eventually during Rahul ji's time. So this is not something that I'm talking about. The thing is that back in the days, the coterie was still connected with the ground. The coterie still listened to the pulse of its workers and people, and it worked like that. If I talk about my father, I'm accused of being the daughter of somebody who held enormous power and who had control. You introduced my father like that just now, that he was all powerful, but that did not make him disconnected from people. I always say, his house, his office was open to all, from an ordinary karyakarta to a small time worker to a chief minister or a cabinet minister. Anybody could walk in. And he never differentiated. I think this is like now a legend. 5 years it's going to be since we lost him, and whoever I meet, everyone has a great story to tell. Of course, there are detractors, there are critics, there are people who say that he had the same kind of control, but then he was also using that control to take many right decisions, which is why Congress did see days of glory under him. I mean, under the time that he had that kind of power, Congress did run 2 successful coalition governments. There was a lot of coherence between the alliance partners. There was respect amongst each other, and what I know of my father, and I talk about him today not as his daughter, but because he was someone who had a lot of authority, that he always thought in the interest of the party. He had no other interest. I mean, his family was not in politics. He was not doing anything for anybody else. His focus was not on what position I would get. He rose slowly and successfully in the party because he focused on the benefit of the party, which is what is lacking today. Today, you are loyal to that one boss on top of you. You're just worried about what position or what power you can get from them. How is it that you're going to strengthen your position within your area, within your space? And there is no unity amongst everybody. The groupism that existed earlier, okay, fine, we have it now. But there is complete disconnect because everybody is worried about saving their own seat, saving their own space. And as you can see, I think in the last couple of days, there's been so much chatter that everybody is now worried about their Rajya Sabha seats.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
That is what.
Is that true? Rashid Kidwai, the senior journalist, calls it the Jai Jagat gang. He said they're only concerned with who's going to get a Rajya Sabha seat, and he said that even the party president is concerned about that. So, do you agree that the party which should be introspecting right now about its defeat in Bihar, is instead focused on internal lobbying for Rajya Sabha seats?
Possibly. I mean, if everybody is talking about it, there has to be some, it gives you food for thought. But there is so much more that can be done. We are a different country right now. We are facing a very vile, vicious, I'm sorry, I'm using that word, opponent. We are facing an opponent which has so much money power, so much muscle power, and uh, they kind of control everything, which is why this is probably not the right strategy to fight them. If speaking against the prime minister is not working, let's find an alternative. If people are not resonating with what we're trying to tell them, maybe we gain their trust better, and that is when they'll start listening to us. So there's a lot of and also, I don't know if I should be saying this or not. I think the arrogance needs to go. You know, when you have top leaders uh, not really lending their ears to the ground, and they're arrogant about it. And I'm not taking names. I'm talking in a very general way. Let me. I mean, this is something I notice. Even if you have a little bit of position, I've seen people pushing you off stage because they are holding a certain small time designation or status on their visiting card. But that is not how you treat your cadre, because it is your cadre who's working so hard on the ground, and they're not ever given that acknowledgement, they're not given that recognition. And probably if you did, even if you gave them a little pat on the back, which I've seen my father doing, they'll work doubly hard. But that arrogance needs to go. Acknowledgement needs to come in, and you need to decentralize in the sense that uh, uh, the locals need to have more of a say, because one person, I'll take a small example. If one person in a district has access to somebody at the top, he wields that influence.
Yeah.
And when he does that, the right people always get sidelined and they never come through, which demoralizes the cadre, which demoralizes people.
Yeah, you've said, uh, are you saying the Congress party with a string of defeats is still arrogant?
Okay. I just feel that they need to warm up to everyone. You have to, now is the time to come together for this grand old party, because we still hold that 20% voter base. When I meet voters who voted for us since the independence, there are people alive, by the way, who voted for us since then. I've met these women, had sat and had tea with them, and they talk so lovingly about the Congress. I've gone to these villages where people are still living in homes which they say Indra Ma Yojana mein bana tha. They've got homes which were built at that time. They have that love. They have that, but they feel sad that why is the party not winning? Also, I've heard, हम तो आपके लिए वोट करते हैं, पर आपके जो हम उनको जिनको जिताते हैं वो छोड़ के फिर चले जाते हैं. You see, that trust factor is missing now. Also, I'd like to put in here, as a Muslim woman, that I interact with a lot of the minority crowd, of course, because I get to. And the Muslims also feel, I mean, here we have the Prime Minister and the BJP always attacking us as the secular party or a Muslim party. But no, the Muslims also have a trust deficit now. Whenever the Muslims get another alternative, they move on. So there is something which is not resonating on the ground. There's something which is wrong. And it is no longer about introspection. It is about accepting that there is a problem. And it is about taking action. And
okay, you've said a lot of important things. Let's start with the arrogance. Is everybody arrogant?
I don't know. It just probably comes with power. I don't know. I feel so. I mean, the whole attitude just feels wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, let me make it clear. I'm not talking about Rahul ji or anybody like that. If you look at him, he's meeting people, he's going all out, meeting all.
But doesn't he get included in the taking of the responsibility? I mean, it has been told to me by people who spend a lot of time looking at the party that even someone like you finds it difficult to get an appointment within the Congress party. Is that true?
He's always on the move. So yes, of course it is true. He's always on the move. But the thing is that he alone cannot do everything. Today, if you are a CEO of a company, also you need a team. And that team needs to also provide you with the right information and also show you the harsh reality. maybe he's not getting to see the reality because he's always being told good things. I'm assuming, this is my assumption, that maybe the real picture is not being shown, and he's always getting a feedback which makes him feel that it's working, but it is not
So
working. And
you think Rahul Gandhi is being misled by his advisors, by his coterie?
yeah, I think I don't know who the advisors are. I don't know who he's listening to, so I cannot comment on that. But something is wrong. And today, after 5 days, I think I tweeted 5 days ago, I have got messages from across the country. I don't know where they found my number. I need to just change my number now because it's getting very tough. But
Yeah.
people are very emotional, and everyone is like, you said it, and humko koi puchta nahi. I mean, from Haryana to West Bengal to Kashmir to Tamil Nadu to Hyderabad, everywhere. I can't even tell you where all people are finding my number, and they're reaching out saying that, and they're giving their own area specifications. हमने हमारे साथ यहाँ ऐसे हुआ, मैंने 14 साल कांग्रेस के साथ काम किया, मैंने इतने साल काम किया, मुझे पूछते नहीं है ये. I mean, people are all getting restless and emotional, which means that there is something that is not working. As simple as that. And I really feel sad that that we see that the country needs a very, very strong opposition, especially to fight the fascist regime that we have. I call them fascist, but we owe it to the public. We owe it to, and when people tell us that we want an opposition, we want a strong opposition, पर हम कांग्रेस को वोट नहीं करेंगे, so that means we're not being able to develop that trust. We know about SIR, we know about these 65 lakh voter name deletions, we know about vote chori. But yesterday I was sipping tea in the morning in my room, and I could hear from the window outside, there were probably a couple of laborers talking because there's construction going on. And the man goes that BJP फिर से आ गई है, मैं तो चाहता ही था कि बिहार में BJP आ जाए. Now, this is some laborer in Delhi who's talking. I was in a parking lot the other day, and two men were talking. I mean, just maybe the parking attendants. And they were like, कि Modi जी बढ़िया कर रहे हैं. So I asked, I said, क्या कर रहे हैं बढ़िया? So this other guy goes, पूरा देश तो बेच चुके हैं. He says, आप बताओ ना क्या बेचा? हम तो अगले 15 साल मोदी को ही वोट करेंगे. So there are also a dearth of people who cannot see the wrongs that are going on in the country, and Rahul ji has tried very hard.
Or the BJP has run a more effective campaign. The BJP has done a better crafting of narrative. The Prime Minister's personal popularity is more than Mr. Gandhi's. I mean, you can't just put it on.
And it's not a level playing field. Let's accept it. It is not a level playing field at all. And Rahul ji has tirelessly, I think, and boldly spoken about it year after year. I think probably he's the only one who speaks so boldly and so openly. I will give that to him. But I feel that the entire entire narrative is not united enough that it has an effect on the ground. Maybe I think it's a simple way of putting it.
You also said that as a Muslim woman, you want to say that there's a trust deficit between Muslims and the Congress, and where Muslims have or see another option or a better option, they go there. Talk a little bit about that. There is this sense that the Congress hasn't quite figured out its politics vis-a-vis the minority community. There are those who feel the Congress is lurching leftwards. The Prime Minister called it a Muslim League Maoist party after the Bihar defeat. Others who support the Congress, they say that the country is not lefty, but the Congress today is dominated by left-leaning voices. Talk about the Muslim deficit that you have said, that there's a Muslim trust deficit now.
Well, what I've noticed is that Muslim vote bank is, because there was no choice, right? It was just the Congress. The Muslims would not have gone to the BJP. And that is the narrative. And it has worked well for the BJP to keep the social divide going, to keep the pot boiling, which is why the Muslims obviously feared the BJP up till a certain point of time. And we have also reached a point, I've seen it personally in Gujarat, that they feel that it's better to join them than be against them, because at least life gets simpler. Muslims face a lot of trouble on the ground. They're not allowed to function normally. I'm talking about a state like Gujarat where I have spent enough time, and I also come from a constituency which has a 20% plus Muslim population, and life is tough for them. But what happens is that when life gets tough, they expect that the party that they vote for is going to stand by them. And there is, like I said, there's lack of coherence, that there's not enough people then who turn up and who support them when somebody goes to jail, when somebody is picked on a false case, because that happens when their crops are burnt, because they're planning, they come and vote for the Congress, their fields and their crops are burnt out, their children get kicked out of school, their sons lose their job. This is actually happening on the ground. Muslims are facing a lot of issues, but they feel that we need our local leadership to come to our support because we are supporting your party. So that trust deficit has come through also with a lot of Muslim women. I feel that, they're tired of voting. So a lot of times they don't want to vote. We talk about the women factor, but amongst a lot of Muslim women, I have noticed that हम थक गए हैं वोट करके कुछ तो बदलता नहीं है. See, for them, local issues become very important. They feel it doesn't make a difference. They can't vote for the BJP because they feel that they're anti-Muslims. So they feel, but Congress is not anyway doing enough, and Congress never wins. So it's best not to vote. So we've also had a lot of dialogue interaction where we've tried to explain to them that you have to vote, because then these votes end up going somewhere else. And whenever we've seen there's a third option comes along, you look at a UP, you look at a Bihar, UP with Samajwadi Party, you look at Bihar with the RJD in the past, okay? You now look at Owaisi's party winning the numbers that they did. So wherever they get an option, they move on, or the fear factor makes them vote for the BJP also, because literally like booths are threatened that if these many numbers don't come from your village, electricity will be cut off.
But don't you feel? But don't you feel when if you're calling for introspection, the first thing the party needs to do is to stop the denialism, keep blaming other factors. You have to acknowledge that the party is doing something wrong.
That is exactly what I said. I mean, no excuses. No, we have to look within, and it is course correction. It's fine. If people might say that, I am criticizing. No, I'm not. I'm coming from a space where I wish well for the Congress. I wish also to contribute to the growth of Congress, which my father also did all his life. And I just want to see us as a very strong opposition that eventually also forms a government in the future.
You also made another important point. You said if attacking the Prime Minister personally is not working, get a new strategy. Do you feel that that is one mistake the Congress party has made, that a lot of people want to say, what do you stand for? Like you keep saying, you keep talking about the Prime Minister all day. You're defining yourself vis-a-vis him. That's a negative campaign.
Well, maybe not. What is it that you can do? That's a separate factor that we have to develop and give that trust to the public that we are the alternative. We are going to do this for you. That is one. But at the same time, we know that the Prime Minister has a very popular image, and it hurts people's sentiments. People don't want to hear about the Prime Minister like that, come what may. So probably let's not do that because it's not working. We know. We as a party, we as an opposition know what the Prime Minister stands for. We know what wrongdoings that are happening. We've said it enough. But in terms of election strategy, let's be a little bit more careful and don't use that as an election strategy. Attack in different ways, highlight the problems in another manner, but maybe let's not just do personal attacks.
Let me ask you a last question. Ever since you've gone public, and today you particularly have gone public, are you worried about repercussions within your own party? Has the leadership said anything to you?
To be honest, like I said, I come as a well-wisher of the party. I come as a congressman, but I have nothing to lose. The ones probably who are feeling the same as I do have a lot more to lose because they're holding positions of influence. I have nothing to lose at all. I will still be who I am. I'll still keep speaking up, and I will still have my ideology intact. So it's okay.
You're borrowing from Rahul Gandhi's comment in a different context. Daro mat.
Daro mat, rukna nahi, jhukna nahi.
And you're applying that for yourself today.
Absolutely, of course. I mean, if we are fighting for democracy, लोकतंत्र की लड़ाई है, तो पार्टी में भी पूरा लोकतंत्र है कि हम खुल के बोल सकते हैं. And I wish we all did.
Just before we let you go, how frustrating has it been for you? In the last election, you wanted to contest from Bharuch, your home constituency. That seat was given. Sorry, am I wrong?
No. Yeah, I was given the indication that please work the next few years and nurture the constituency. I had never even applied or asked for a ticket. I'd
Okay,
never
but
given any.
that's
I
okay.
was asked for my biodata, but I think it worked better that if there was no one else to contest, might as well give it to another party. So these are things that happen in the Congress party, which is very unfortunate. You pull your own people down. I would have lost the elections eventually, but we would have at least kept the pot boiling for another election. Today the cadre is demoralized, completely
Yeah.
demoralized. And also the cadre somewhere feels let down that they always had Ahmed Patel as the bridge between the center and them. Today they feel that I have lost the trust of probably the leadership, which is why this seat was given away in alliance, and they don't know where to go anymore. And I also feel as helpless as them.
I can only imagine. I was interviewing senior journalist Rashid Kidwai earlier, and he said the plight of Mumtaz and what she's going through in a way it captures what's all that is wrong with the Congress party. So good on you for speaking up, and we wish you better times ahead. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
speaking
much.
to us, Mumtaz. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care.
Jai
Bye-bye.
Hind. Thanks.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.